everybody. Welcome to our whatever number call. Number question and answer. I don't remember number. And we almost didn't make it because we were having such a good conversation in the background of all of this. So if you haven't been with us with Shawn before, Shawn is I was going to say hoot. Shawn's a hoot. There we go with that. And we always get into really good conversations with Shawn. So we were talking about diapers and bumblebees and other kind of things. So we'll tell you.
Well, now everybody's going to be like, wait a minute, why was Shawn talking about diapers? Her kids are 24 and 31.
There you go. We'll tell you why we were talking about diapers in a minute.
Maybe we'll tease a little something.
Welcome, everybody, as you start to join. I am Heather, if you don't know already, your co-host and techie, and this is Tracy, our scrapbooking expert, and Shawn, who is back for the third time in our summit and is one of our cricket experts, but she's also a Disney.
I am.
Fan.
Disney stuff behind me.
What word would be stronger than fan, Shawn? Disney?
Addict. I am a proud Disney adult. Some people are like, oh, that's a bad term. No, I'm a Disney adult. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's magical. And every time I go there, I get a big hug from Mickey Mouse, and I just feel like a little kid all over again. And it's perfect.
What a magical thing to feel, right? We all need
ice cream bars taste better when they're Mickey Mouse shaped and you're eating them on Main Street. If you agree with that statement, you too are a Disney adult.
When was the last time you went to Disney?
The last time I went was last September.
Okay.
My daughter had a hockey tournament, and they didn't play as good as they thought they would. So then they didn't make it to the last day of the tournament. And she's like, so now we have the whole day free. You want to go to Disneyland? I was like, are you kidding? Of course. Like, you had to ask.
Oops, there we go again. It always does Tracy first. I don't know what protocol it has. So
I'm saying hi to people in the chat there. Hi, me.
We have Shannon's here, and there'll be more joining as they find their way in. Do you want to let people know who you are, where you're from, what you do, and how you got into paper crafting?
So if you don't know me, my name is Shawn Mosch. I live in Minnesota with my husband, who's outside weeding. When he's weeding, it's in the garden. When I'm weeding, it's final.
There you go.
So that's how we split that up. I have two grown children, 24 tomorrow and 31. I'm a huge Disney fan. Really, Disney is what got me into scrapbooking. When my kids were very little, they're at the daycare, and one of the people at the daycare was a creative memories person. And she's like, Shawn, you need to come to our scrapbooking event. And I was like, I don't scrapbook. And she's like, but they have Disney stuff. I said, what time do we start? And that's how it all started. Then after a couple of years, I got sick of like running out of the sticker letters and being like, oh, I got to run to the store because I need one more blue E.
Like, always an E.
It's such a random thing. Or you would lose the dot on an I. So then you're going to buy a whole new pack of stickers because of a dot for an I. That's when I started improvising and putting hearts to dot my I's, because I was like, we did that in the 80s. Let's bring that back. So then my husband purchased me my very, very first Cricut. And, you know, I was going to save so much money because I wasn't going to have to buy stickers anymore. Yeah, if you own a Cricut, you know what a joke that is. But it did allow me to get creative. And instead of going and buying a sticker of a bumblebee and being stuck with the dimensions that the sticker was made in, I could make this any size I wanted. I love that. Because I'm also, you know, in my real world jobs, I've done problem solving and tech related testing kind of things. So I loved it when people would say, okay, how do you do this? Or I want the Cricut to do this. And it's not necessarily set up to do that. I was like, oh, there's got to be a way. Let me play around with things, and I'd figure something out, you know. So those were always some of my best videos, best performing ones, where I'm like, okay, if you have a problem with this, here I have the answer.
Yes.
And I tell people probably 95% 5% of people's Cricut questions I know the answer to. The other 5% are like software's glitching, shutdown, reboot.
And that is often the case of any software, shut down, reboot, or give it a bit of time, like we
Yes.
did
Wait for
today
the
when our
next
site wasn't
update.
working.
Yeah. But I mean, literally everything else. There was one, I had a group of ladies that live locally, and they kind of hired me to come and teach them in person. And halfway through, I was like, okay, I need to eat something. And they're like, oh, yeah, go eat. So I'm sitting there eating, and one of them had a question. She's like, oh, no, wait till you're done eating. I was like, no, you want to go to the bottom right corner, third button, and you're going to click this. And she's like, you did that without looking at the screen while eating your lunch.
You and I are kindred spirits in that way. I can do the same thing, which is like,
I'm that good. I'm sorry, but
I don't know Cricut, but I can do the same in most softwares. Yes, very kindred spirits.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Shannon,
what questions do people have?
Well, first of all, share your project. You have been showing it.
Oh, sorry. I've been showing my bee. I forgot. Well, we were talking beforehand, so I forget that, like, oh, they weren't here for that.
They weren't here.
Yeah. So I did this cute little bumblebee. I have a crafty friend. I don't know if she's in here yet. And she loves bumblebees. So that's kind of what inspired this. I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. And then, once I did that, I was like, well, he needs a little beehive to go with. And if any of you own the Cricut Joy, stay tuned, because next month I'm in another event and you'll see the bee show up there too.
There you go.
I kind of went on a theme this summer because he's cute. He's really pretty simple. If anybody has tried making him, he was pretty simple to do, which I always think is really great when you're starting to do things with the Cricut. Start with something kind of simple. Don't come in and be like, oh, I'm going to make a 3-foot tall Mickey Mouse. Okay, you can, but let's start with something a little easier first.
I have a really important Cricut question for you.
Okay.
How do people, because Shannon just posted this, how do people get their Cricuts out of the box?
It's really difficult. There's a little tab on the front, and you got to pull that down and then lift the whole lid open and then lift the Cricut out of the box.
Well, you see, I have a Joy and it's still in the box. Tracy has one that's still in the box. So how did they get it out of the box?
Yeah. So I just did a reel that's on my Instagram that's like, would you pay $300 for a paperweight? No. But you buy a Cricut and leave it in the box. So how is that different?
Does the Joy come in a bag? Because it's still in the bag.
Still in the bag, which I'm guessing it's in the bag, or in the box, in the bag she bought it. Yeah. Let's get it out of the box. It's so much fun.
See, I
hope that seeing what I do kind of encourage some people to say, okay, let's get it out of the box
to make your bumblebee. So there you go, shout out. Shannon, we want to see it. We want to see it posted in the group and tag her and say you made the bumblebee.
And then when you're like, okay, that was cool. What should I make next? I'm actually doing a thing all June. Depending on how it goes in June, we'll decide if I do it in July. But I'm offering people a 25-minute phone call with me to talk about your Cricut wants, needs, goals, ambitions. Like, what is it that made you go, oh, I wanted to buy that thing, and now it's sitting there? Because I want to help you get it out of the box and use it.
Well, Shannon's going to post it in the group. And something we learned about today, if people who are here, who weren't here earlier, and too much of Tracy's and my surprises, many libraries, including our local library, has a Cricut machine that you can book. So you can do your designs, bring your paper. So I did not know this. Tracy did not know this. And she was like, wow. And I have to say, I live 10 minutes from the place that actually has a Cricut machine, and you can book it for 4 hours.
Right.
Not know this. And so
there are a lot that do that. But I know some people that want to go try it out before they buy it, but they're kind of like, okay, but I don't even know what to do. Well, that's where you go check out my website or book a little call with me and say, okay, so where do I even start? What I would say is if you don't own a machine or yours is still in the box, at least download Cricut Design Space because the software is absolutely free to use. Yes, there is a thing called Cricut Access that gives you access to their images and their fonts, but everything I make, I do for free. I have never paid for Cricut Access, so I am proof that you can make amazing stuff without paying for Cricut Access.
There you go.
So get the software and then follow some of my tutorials and start playing with some things because you could make a bunch of projects before you even own a machine. And then you have them all saved up and you're like, okay, yeah, now that I have like 20 things I want to make, I'll go get the machine because then you're already encouraged to take it out because you have the project set up and ready to go.
We have a little competition going in the comments of people helping each other take their machines out and do stuff. Shannon's going to post it in the group. Suzette, I started learning a lot at summits, but I follow some of the crafters doing their live crafting. So yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
And I'm working out a plan to do more live crafting events. So if you are a Cricut owner and you're interested in that, go to any of my social media, Google my name, Shawn Mosch. You can find me.
Download our free B pattern and then you get on our list so you don't have to go, so it comes to you.
Yeah, and then if you want to book a call with me, let me know and we can hook that up, and then maybe even before the end of the month we could get another live Cricketing only event thing going.
Yeah.
I would love it if I could do like at least once a month something live.
Well, we should talk, Shawn, because we want to profit at doing that once alive.
Okay.
We want you to profit at it. Shawn, would you like to go live with me on my channel? So there you go. Okay. Both of you need to do it in a way that you get a little profit. There you go. There's me being a business coach here. Debbie and Shawn.
Yes.
There you go.
No, seriously, like I got laid off from my real job in March.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm free. Let's do some more lives.
Yeah. We just need to work it into getting money in the bank for doing the lives.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry, ladies who want them for free. I'm putting on my little.
You know what? I do some things for free. Like you get your bee for free. I do have a secret page on my website that when you sign up for my newsletter, you get the link to it and you get the password to get in there. And I have some free SVG files in there that I've made. So I like to do that. I give you a couple things for free, but then you can also go buy some things in my Etsy shop or in my shop on my website. So
but you guys are giving away your amazing expertise for free. That's what we got to switch around a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? I haven't had enough time to literally do a video about every single thing that's in my head about the Cricut. But when people book a one-on-one session with me and ask me specific questions, I was like, yeah, now I can give you that information because there's just only so many hours in the day. I'd have to just have a camera running 24/7.
But yes, I mean, we do stuff for free, obviously, but we're also, I will tell you, our VIPs, we love you. We love you because you're investing in yourself and your craft and everyone else. And I find I'm going off tangent here, but I do find when people invest in stuff, they're more committed to it. And that's really it.
Right. And if you already spent the money on the machine, like why not spend a little bit more to sit down with a Cricut expert, and instead of putting your questions and comments, it's going to just be you and me chatting. I do that a lot with people.
Yeah.
You can book a one-on-one session with me. So what are your questions?
So Rosemary's Library has a 1-hour introduction to Cricut session offered every couple of months. That's cool. See, what we don't know what the library has. We're learning. Do you want to teach me how at Debbie J Corners? So they're talking, Debbie and Shannon are learning how to do lives together. It's really
awesome.
Easy, Shannon. You can do
Ladies, call me.
Yeah, Debbie knows how to do them. So you three, see, we're creating relationships. Shannon, if you are in, whoa, my brain just went kaput there. If you're in the VIP, you can still watch Debbie's and Shannon's videos because Shannon did a great one. And we have a comment. We sent it out in an email, Shannon, by the way. We quoted the comment for you, which was that the VIP is just, let me get this right. Shannon's sentiments in the VIP are worth the pass alone.
I saw that.
And
I was
so,
like, go girl.
So Shannon, thank you for that. People really loved your sentiments.
Shannon and I are kind of working on something.
There you go.
With the two of us.
Well, and Shannon and both Shannon and Shawn have been speakers in our circle. Their presentations are there if you want to watch them. So Shawn came in and did everything about the Cricut and was online demonstrating how to do things. And Shannon showed people how to foil with their laminator.
Yeah.
And so great stuff. We have to bring Debbie
I just love.
We might bring Debbie.
Like Cricut is something Cricut and Disney are two things that I could talk about forever. I mean, just answering questions and helping people learn. I love it when I see somebody's eyes kind of light up with that aha moment of like, oh, now I get it. Or when I get the comments on my YouTube of like, I've watched 100 videos on this topic and I still couldn't get it right. And like, then I watched your video and within 5 minutes, I'm like, that makes sense. I'm like, oh, I don't know why, but it's the way I explain it. I don't know.
I have a great name for you afterwards to do something to make you money. So I'll come back to that.
Okay.
Glad that everyone liked the sentiments they did. I love your project, Shawn. So how did diapers get into this, Shawn? Tell them what we were talking about in your project.
We were talking before this all started about I'm working with a business coach on building my website up and making more traffic, more money, more. And we were talking about how one of my top 10 posts month after month after month is a diaper cake that I made for the baby shower of a girl that turned 16 in October. So it was a little bit ago, but I'm still getting traffic off of it. So it's like, I'm going to do some things with more current diaper cake ideas. But we were kind of talking about the bumblebee could turn into something that's embellishing a diaper cake. Then after it's done being a decoration for the baby shower, you could use it in the baby scrapbook. You could put it in a shadow box with the baby's picture to hang on the wall. Like, there's so many things. It's not just, oh, Shawn showed you how to use this bee for a scrapbook layout. We could use him on a card. We were talking about if I made 2 of them and glued them together, maybe put a string in there, and now he's a double-sided one that could spin around. It's start with the idea and then build on it and expand and see where you could go. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I love doing that kind of stuff where it's like, you see this and it's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to take that idea and turn it into something else. Which made me just think of something that's in my craft room that I should have grabbed. My son plays D&D, and okay, he's 31. He's a boy. Trying to impress him with, Mom, you're a crafter. Yeah, he's so, you can't impress him. I was like, I am going to impress him for his birthday. I made a card that was a shaped card, the shape of the dice they roll for D&D that's got the 20 sides on it. And then inside of it, it had a layered piece with mountains and valleys and a castle and the dragon flying in. It was so cool that when he opened it, he grabbed his camera and like, before he even said thanks, he snapped a picture. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I got to show my friends. Like, yes.
Shannon, half her husband plays D&D. So now you have an idea there. Go.
And then I turned it into a layered shadow box. If you haven't seen this, it's in my Etsy shop. And then I have videos on my YouTube and on my Instagram. But yeah.
There you go.
D&D is like Dungeons and Dragons, if you don't know. My layered dragon thing.
Just in case someone doesn't know, D&D is Dungeons and Dragons.
People always sorry.
Well, people just don't ask the question because they're like, oh. Yeah. Most people know. But I have a 30-year-old daughter that loves D&D and made her an interactive character journal. There you go. So,
when you can do something that's custom for friends and family, I think that's the best. My daughter, her favorite Disney character is Donald Duck. And I have made a lot of different variations of Donald Duck birthday cards, Christmas ornaments, all kinds of stuff. I actually have a Happy Birthday Donald kind of collection on my website that takes you to like 12 different Donald Duck projects that I've done over the years.
Well,
but it's something that makes people happy because it shows that you really thought of them because you went and did something that is their special, traits and qualities and things. So,
do you want my real professional side here?
Okay, go for it.
This is for your daughter. No. Sorry.
Oh, that was so good.
She can watch it later.
She loves that.
I love Donald as well.
One of your talents is I didn't know, Tracy.
There you go.
One of her hidden talents.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Julie, if Circuit is so easy and user friendly, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree with that. I've often said, like, I love that the Cricut allows me to get an idea in my head and then turn it into a reality. So like the D&D shadow box and card were one of those things that I was like, I bet I could do that. And then I just tried it. I was like, okay, that worked. And that looks really cool. And then when it turned into something that my son was impressed by, sent to his friends, and like within a couple minutes, he had like 10, 15 responses from his friends going, oh, that's cool. I was like, I'm the cool mom.
There you go. Tracy, you have to bring Donald Duck to the next circle meeting.
Yeah, maybe I should work on my Disney scrapbooks.
There you go.
It might cost you for the next circle one, okay?
Getting your quest for Tracy and Donald Duck. Now you've let out the beast. That must hurt your voice after a while.
Yeah, here and there,
We all have talents. Donald Duck is not one of them.
I mean, that's kind of how I got into scrapbooking, and then that led to Cricut, was Disney scrapbooks. I was doing our different family events. So
it's great.
And then I started doing cards. I now have 12 nieces and nephews, and I make every one of them a handmade birthday card. And they love it when they get a card and it's like, it's specially for them. Like, this is not a card. You can just go to the store and see.
So we're going to the theme we had yesterday. Do you ever make a card for yourself?
I have never made a card for myself.
So the challenge that came out of yesterday was that everyone and anyone who's here said they would do it is make a card for yourself. Give it to write a note to yourself, give the card to someone else and ask them to mail it to you unexpectedly sometime in the next year.
I've made lots of cards for my husband.
Yeah, no, yourself.
And both my kids.
Yourself. This is the challenge. Make one for yourself. Write a nice sentiment in it. Put it in an envelope. Give it to someone else and let them surprise you when they mail it back to you.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, that was our challenge that came out of yesterday's conversation, because we make all these card makers. You make cards and cards, but you never make one for yourself.
I know.
And I did this. This comes from something I used to do in team building. Is I would get people to write a letter to themselves, and I would keep them and I would mail it back to them when I felt it was appropriate. I would give it back to them, usually about 6 months later.
Because then you're not expecting it if somebody else is in charge of sending it. That's cool.
And it's also random, because it's not like mail it back to me at Christmas. It's random.
Right.
And by the time you get it back, you've forgotten what you put in it. You probably forgot what it looked like. And so you deserve to send yourself a card, Shawn.
I should. I do deserve that.
And I'm sure there's someone out there who will keep it for you and let you send it back. So it was kind of, that came out of our conversation yesterday. And it's like, yeah. So all you card makers or not card makers who want to be card makers, or anywhere, just pick a card, write it, send it give it to someone you trust, and let them mail it back to you. It's
That's a great idea.
To give yourself things. So that came out of yesterday.
On that same
I'm going to guess mine's going to end up being Mickey Mouse related.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Big surprise, right?
Shannon, just a secretary. Shannon just is downloading Design Studio.
Yay, that's the first step.
So it's going to come out of the box. So there we go. Go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, and if you want help getting the box of getting started, come find me. Now, if I could do all day just helping people figure out how to use their Cricut and the Design Space software.
You should get Cricut to hire you. There you go. Tracy, what was your idea?
I was just gonna say, because as like you said, we were talking about the cards and that, but also those who scrapbook, do a page about yourself. because that's
yeah.
just hard. You know, it's hard, but it's necessary because we go, oh, people won't care. It's like, no, they do. So do that as well.
And someday when we're not here, somebody's going to look back at it and go, oh, yeah, she nailed it.
Yeah.
It's very true. And we don't, I used to do a lot of other arts and I didn't keep enough of it myself.
Yeah.
I got some of it when my parents passed away because I got back what I gave them, but I didn't keep enough of it myself. So I think that's one of those things of do it for yourself and give yourself a gift.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at cards as like mini layouts. So if you're a scrapbooker and you're like, do I want to try card making? Just think of it as a little like 5x7 layout. I have had some cards. My daughter's best friend, when I made a graduation card for him when they graduated from high school, he loved it so much. He put it in a little frame and then sent me a picture in his dorm room freshman year. He's like, see, there's your card hanging there. It's like, that's so cool, especially because boys are not usually impressed by anything.
Yeah.
So that's 2 times I've impressed a boy.
Sandy just opened an opportunity for you. See, this is where you start to think outside the box and make money. My cousin's school just bought a Cricut. You should go teach the teachers how to use it.
So my mom works at a school. And when they bought a Cricut, I said, hey, when the teachers are ready to learn how to use it, you know where to find me. And let's book something. That was in 2020. So what the teachers do instead is go to my mom and say, hey, I need like 25 of these cut for tomorrow. She's like, great. Do you want my daughter to come over and teach you how to do it? No, I don't have time. So then my mom sends me an email and says, can you set up the file and I'll just cut it? So I know the password to the school's Design Space account. So I go set up the file, do all of the things. And then I'm like, okay, you can cut now.
So you need to have that service for the people who aren't your mom so that you can charge for that one.
But I would charge, the school to come in and teach, but the teachers are always like, oh, I don't have time.
But even charge them to cut it. So anyways, that's a whole nother topic.
My mom has started to do that. She's like, keep track of your hourly of what you set up. But people, I know so many people are looking for in-person Cricut instructors. And if you don't have one in your area, hi, I'm here. I know I'm in Minnesota, but it's going to be just like this. You and me talking. And I've done it with hundreds of people already who've then gone on to make amazing things. So I can do it with you too. You don't have to be like, oh, there's not an in-person class close to me.
We're all used to being online these days anyways.
Exactly. It's as good as I can get without a plane ticket.
I have a friend who is a really good artist and sends her a card and she frames it and hangs it. I was shocked. Yes.
Yeah.
Your cards aren't simple. They aren't, one of the things that all artists do, all creative people do is we underestimate the value of what we do, right? What is simple to us is not simple to someone else. And it doesn't matter. Sorry, Tracy, I got your face covered there, but it doesn't matter. I usually cover my own face and then I don't have to apologize. But it doesn't matter what it is. Just because it's simple isn't, I don't know where in our world we thought simple was bad. Like hold up your bumblebee again. Your bumblebee, hold your bumblebee up.
Oh, sorry.
Your bumblebee is a couple of teardrops, a little figure 8 and 2 antennas, but it's gorgeous, right?
Yeah, he's simple. But that's why I like teaching stuff like this, especially to those people that haven't taken it out of the box. You know who you are. I'm talking to you. Something like this is like, okay, that's 3 colors. It's simple shapes. There's not a bunch of detail in there. Like, I can do that. And then once you do that, you're like, okay, that was fun. What can I do next? And then that's when you've gone down the Cricut rabbit hole. And I'm sorry, but I got you started.
That sounds like fun. I love to teach and watch the light bulb. Absolutely. I love watching light bulbs.
That's the best. When I used to teach in person, and I have people locally that have booked me to come to their house and teach. And when you see that light bulb moment of like, oh, now it makes sense. I'm like, yes.
Yep.
Because they have spent hours on YouTube trying to figure it out before they came to you. So save yourself some time and the stress of watching 100 YouTube videos. Just, you know that I'm here now. Come find me and ask me the question.
Yeah.
And at the off chance I don't know the answer, I'll go find it. But literally.
So you have a relationship with Cricut? Do you get like a beta version, or do you get pre-announcements? You got to work on that.
I don't think Cricut likes me because I teach people how to do everything without paying for Cricut access.
Okay.
So I'm like, don't pay them, because like you can do that for free. Here's how. Yeah, I've never paid for Cricut access. I have been to 2 of their Cricut launch events. I was there in 2020 when they launched the Cricut Joy. And then it was like the very next month that the whole world shut down. So that was kind of cool to be there in person. And I got some of the first video of the Joy in action up on my YouTube. But yeah, I really doubt they'd want to work with me because 1, I show people how to do stuff for free. And 2, I have openly said I'm not a fan of their vinyl. I like Caesar vinyl for iron-on, and I like StarCraft for my permanent vinyl. So if you're in my Facebook Cricut group, you'll never see me going, oh, look, Cricut vinyl's on sale, because why would I want to go tell you to buy a lesser quality product? Now, if Caesar vinyl is on sale, I'm going to tell you all about that, because that stuff is amazing.
So you have, I'd love to have a Cricut Extra, Joy Extra, sorry. I love Shawn.
The Joy Extra, yeah. That's the newer one. So a bunch of people bought the Cricut Joy going, oh, it's a good price point, and yay, now I can do all the things. And then I started getting people going, so how do I do stickers? I'm like, yeah, you can't with the Joy. And they're like, well, now that was a waste of money. And I was like, well, that's why you should have talked to me first.
Yes, you have to know. Well, it's like other conversations we've had, because we have had people on here who have silhouettes and love silhouettes, and brothers.
Yeah.
Was figure out, like, go on and play with the software that's free and decide which one works for you, because we're all different. Our brains function differently. Yep. We see different things different. So go and see which one, and go to your public library. Now we know you can try your Cricuts out there, and try them out and decide what you want before buying it and having the box sit on your desk.
Totally agree. Especially since the software is free, you can try it out. And going back to the whole, like, oh, it's simple. To me, using Cricut Design Space is simple. I know there's some people that are like, I don't get it. But once I talk with them, they're like, okay, now I get it. like, so
yeah, they're all,
they all have a Cricut, come find me.
It's like we said, I don't know if I said it today or earlier when we were talking to Miss Carrie, it's like, we didn't know how to drive a car until we got in a car, and we were scared to death of driving the car, and now we drive a car without thinking.
Wait, and also going along with that, you didn't get in a car and learn how to parallel park the very first day. You started easy with going around the block before you decided to, like, oh yeah, let's go on the freeway, let's parallel park. So
this is a question which we have a semi-answer coming out too. We'll see what your answer is, and then we may have one.
Okay, I just joined, so maybe it's already been answered. Can I design in Cricut software and save it as a SVG and cut it with my? No. Cricut doesn't allow us to export anything.
So according to Miss Carrie, it's coming.
It's coming?
It may have to be in the membership one where you pay for, I don't know, but it's coming according to Miss Carrie.
So there are ways to find or get a PNG. It's a lower quality, but it's possible. But there is no way to export an SVG. That's why I use a totally different software program to make things like my Bumblebee into an SVG.
What do you use?
I use this StarCraft Create software. I'm actually doing a presentation next week or the week after. My weeks are getting blurred, where I'm teaching people how to use that. So
yeah. So, but according to Miss Carrie, she dropped a little hint that it's supposedly coming. So she didn't have a date. So. I mean, there becomes a copy. Part of the reason they don't do it is copyright. But I mean, when you design it, you should own the copyright, not them. So I can see a flaw in their world. But
right. But if you designed it using their elements,
Yeah,
Who really owns that?
yeah.
I mean, like, something like this, like, it's a shape. Come on. I should be able to own that. But like, if you took teardrops that they have and combined it with a bunch of different things to then create this bumblebee. You guys have been scrapbooking for a while. Do you remember back in the day of paper punches where we used to paper punch different shapes and then combine them to make little critters like this before we had the like metal dies and so it's the same kind of thing. If I can take some shapes that are just basic shapes and I can make it into a cute little bee. Personally, I think I should be able to own that because I manipulated those basic shapes into something.
The industry is like, I use Canva a lot for my work. And they have changed their licenses that if you take just the shape and print it, you do not have copy. You do not have license. But if you take the shapes and combine them and create something new, then you have commercial license.
Right. Because it had to be your creativity to see, oh, I can take this from here and this from here and combine it and make it a whole new thing.
Yeah. And that's new. They've changed it because I was trying to download an image when the system went down and I had to put an image behind it and hide it so I could just print this thing off in a hurry. So that's new even on them, but they're moving towards that, exactly what you just said. When you put things together and you create it, then you've created something unique. Now, if it gets really intricate, not, but so thank you for answering. I want to take the Cricut class offered here, but then it makes no sense.
What was that?
Thank you for the answer. I wanted to take the Cricut class offered here, but then it made no sense.
What made no sense?
Yeah, I'm not sure which part.
Because I have never had somebody say that my Cricut class doesn't make sense.
No, I think what she's saying is learning Cricut and you can export the designs into FBG.
Oh, yeah.
Because
they do have a new feature that lets you upload an image and it breaks it into layers. But I personally don't like the way it breaks it. I did a demo with this same bumblebee and it broke it into layers by color, but it did it in a way that wasn't the best for cutting the final image. I was like, that's why I like using the Create software because I can tell it.
But you can upload like
and that and
If you create in Create software, you create in the one that's just there, Inkscape. You can upload it to.
Yep. A lot of people use Inkscape, and originally I was going to start to learn to use Inkscape to make my SVG files, but then I have a connection through my craft source with the StarCraft people, and they wanted me to show people how to use the StarCraft solo machine and the software. And once I found out that could export as an SVG, I'm like, well, now I don't really need to learn Inkscape.
Right. But there are options out there for people, which goes back to that comment of find the software that works for what you want to do.
Right.
If you want to do original designs,
yes,
and you want to be able to export it, then Cricut's not for you at this moment in time. These things change a lot, but not for you. So then look at the other free ones. I don't know what Silhouette does. If anyone, I know that, Julie, you have a Silhouette, I believe. Does Silhouette allow you to export your SVGs, or are you still needing to look at that third-party software where you can do it? So that's one of those. It's all about anything is know your intention.
Right. I mean, when we started off on our Cricut journey, we just wanted to make the things. Nobody was thinking about how to get them out so we could use them other places. I want to make this. That's it. Mm-hmm. And then once we got on there, that's when our wheels started turning, and we're like, hey, but we could do that. And then the company has to try to keep up with us. Mm-hmm. And there's some companies that have run faster to get people what they wanted, and there's others that haven't.
So the free Silhouette software does not allow exports.
I thought it was the Pro, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's the same as Canva. Canva does not allow exports.
Right. You can't export as a SVG from the free. You have to pay for the Pro.
You have to pay for the Pro.
Again, but play with the free version to figure out, like, do I like this?
Mm-hmm.
And does it work for me? I mean, I kind of feel like Inkscape is kind of the top bar of what people started with, and everything after that, people were trying to mimic what you could do in Inkscape.
I mean, even then, Silhouette is $89 one time, which is not bad. If that's what you're trying to do.
If people wanted to buy the StarCraft Create software that I use, you can buy that without the machine. So I believe it's $79, but you can buy it through my craft source, and I have a coupon code there so that you can save.
I mean, if they're one-time fees, they're not bad. It's when you get in the subscription.
Right, one and done.
Yeah,
I mean, if you bought the machine, you got it with it. But if you're like, I don't need another machine, I just want software I can design in, then yeah, $79, one and done forever. Like, doesn't matter how many times they update it or change things. It's been since 2021 that I've had it.
Yeah,
I've never had it be glitchy and not work for me. And yeah, it's very.
But like I said, with software, everybody's brain works differently. Tracy hates Canva, and I love Canva.
Yeah.
Which is why we work well together, because we don't compete on these things. But
right.
I love
we complement each other. So yeah. So if anybody saw my thing and is like, I want to start making SVG files, I'm doing another summit this month that I'm teaching how to do SVG files with Create. Other crafters are teaching with other software programs. So that would actually be a really good way to kind of like see a variety and kind of open your eyes to a whole new world. Oh, that could be a Disney transition there.
Whole new world.
Anyway, but so if you would like that link, let me know. I can give you.
We would like that link. Sign up to her bee, get her bee pattern, and then you can send them the link.
Yeah,
there you go.
You can find all about. And since it starts next week, I have it on my Instagram. I have it on my Linktree. I have it. And if you can't find it, just email me or message me.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you.
Excellent. Well, any other questions for Shawn?
And for you, Shawn. Oh, yeah.
So Silhouette, if you have that. I haven't seen that comment come up yet. It's a little slower.
Now, if you're like me, about 3 minutes after this ends, you're going to be like, oh, I thought of a question. It's fine. Just send me the question. I love answering people's Cricut questions.
Or post it on our post in the Facebook group so other people can see it.
Yep.
If you have a question specifically, use the post, because that way not only do you get the answer, but other people are probably, usually if you have a question, somebody else has the same question. So
yeah.
And Suzette signed up for your bee, which is great.
No silly questions.
No silly questions. That's the problem. People think there is, but there isn't.
No,
Shawn, I'm setting up my Cricut right now. I'll be in touch.
Hey!
She got it out of the box.
Yeah. We're done talking now.
One is done.
Shannon.
I was just congratulating Shannon.
Yeah, she can be congratulated.
We should have a contest of like how many people can get their Cricut out of the box and set up.
Yeah.
You have to snap me a picture and show me it's out of the box.
Excellent. Shannon makes beautiful stuff. So wait till Shannon figures out how to combine her Cricut machine with her foiling machine. Shannon's really into foils at the moment. So foiling.
She knows somebody that could help her. She knows, yeah.
And then we can add, I don't know if Debbie's here. Debbie can put some lights on top of it, and we will have sparkly lit Cricut cutted cards. Muffle.
Which can transition to shadow boxes and home decor items and Christmas with light up ornaments. Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
That's okay. We get ahead of ourselves too sometimes.
We do. If I had enough hours in the day to take all the ideas out of my head and make them reality,
it would be awesome.
That's why we pick and choose which ones we do. So
Debbie's still there to put some lights on the card that Shannon makes with her laminated card, Cricut cutting, foiled card lit up thing. There we go.
That's a lot of words.
A lot of layers.
Lots of stuff.
But you could put some foil on that bumblebee and he could He could sparkle.
He totally could. And maybe that will be my next adventure. I actually did I cut some gold iron-on vinyl because I wanted to see if it looked similar to foiling, because I have so much vinyl. So instead of doing foiling, if I just cut the vinyl and press that, I'm like, does that look like foil? Like kind of a faux foil thing? Use what you have.
We could add Lisa's. Give me Tracy, because I never did it. Lisa's ink.
Yes. Geez, I want to say interactive, but no.
No, see, you don't even
lost it now.
I can never remember.
Like, there it is. Come on. Hang on here.
If you're still here, let us know what they are. Shelley, Lisa Horton's
Interference.
interference inks.
I don't know why.
Oh.
This didn't come to me. Sorry.
So that would be really cool on the Bumblebee because it would be one color on the white and one color on the black.
Yep.
That would be very cool, and you could use the same.
And that's what I love about these.
Thank you, Shelley.
These different discussions is like, I show you this, but then we spiral off on 16 other things, and that's where everybody's different skill sets play into that creativity.
I was going to say the 12 by 12 who was just on here. Shelley, what color interference ink would you use on a Bumblebee to do the white and the blue? She loves these inks. So if you don't know interference inks by Lisa Horton, they change colors on the color of the paper.
Oh.
So if you use it on white, it's a different color than it is on the black, but it's the same ink.
Well, now there's another thing I have to go buy and play with.
They are.
But my birthday is next month, so maybe I'll just put it on my birthday wish list.
They're gorgeous. Shelley did a session in our circle with it, and she did like the Northern Lights on black paper, but the color, it can be green on one color, and let me pull them out and see. She's gonna go see which color she would use.
It depends on the color
they can be, and if you're in the VIP, Lisa Horton did a demonstration for us. So there's a video in the VIP by Lisa Horton done exclusively for us on how to use her inks, how to use these interference inks.
Interference, you got it.
I got it.
I saw
written down.
There's some product, I want to say it was like Fairy or Pixie in the name of it. And I had put it on a different project that had wings, and it looked iridescent and like, oh, that was so cool. That's why I at a trade show.
It's what these inks do, but they do different colors based. And Debbie's met Lisa Horton, so loves her inks as well. But it's just cool that on that it would be really cool because you would use the same color.
Yeah,
on the black and the white, but it would show up differently. I don't know
differently. That's really cool.
Different colors completely. So she's gone off to figure out which one she's going to use.
Awesome.
She's got them all. And Debbie, do you have any of Lisa's interference inks? Because I know that they would be kind of something you'd enjoy too.
When I saw interference ink, I thought they were trying to go infusible ink by Cricut and just misspelt it. I was like, oh, that's really a thing. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
12 by 12 cardstock. Yeah, I love their stuff. Actually, this is their stuff.
We were just.
I'm on their design team. Did you know that?
They were just on here before you.
I'm on their design team, which means I have a coupon code you can use.
An example, just even by Google, so that the same ink is, if you're on black paper, it's going to be blue.
That's cool.
And if it's, I think which side is which? Do you remember, Tracy? One side is black.
Okay, basically the one that has the M on it is what you're going to see on white.
On white, okay. So this is going to be on white, and this is going to be on black.
Huh. Do you guys, I'm going to date myself. Do you remember those heat sensitive t-shirts?
Yeah.
What were they called?
It
would change colors,
like mood rings,
that's what I was thinking. More like
but there was a whole t-shirt line that was like, you're wearing a purple shirt until somebody touches it, and then it leaves a yellow handprint on it.
Yeah. So Lisa does a class for the VIPs on this, but the ink is really cool. And Shelley just wrote on white, she would use yellow equals sweet treat or lemon candy, and on black, sapphire gold. So there you go.
I saw Debbie ask whose design team. I am on the 12 by 12 cardstock shop design team. This is their encore, which I love.
We just had Michelle Price showing all her paper from 12 by 12.
And then I'm also on the My Craft Source influencer team. So they're my go-to for my vinyl.
Is it hypercolor shirts?
Hypercolor shirts. Yes. From the 80s. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember those, but I'm sure around.
Oh, yeah. So I just dated myself. So, yeah. Okay. I actually have a document that has all of the different places I have coupon codes for. So if you need that, let me know.
Yeah, let you know. And then if you're a VIP, and Shawn, you have that as well. So if one of our speakers, you can get the VIP. There's a 12 by 12 coupon. So 12 by 12, 12% off 12 by 12.
Right.
Paper, and she just extended it by a week, or she plans to extend it by a week.
So then once their coupon is done, you just use my code because my code works year round.
Yeah. So you have a coupon for that. So appreciate
I'm a thrifty girl. I like to save money. So if I can give you a code to save you a little money, I'm going to hook you up like that. So That's one of my favorite things to do.
Ah, there you go. Debbie's on Spellbinders, so that's why she doesn't use cutting machines as much, because she's on Spellbinders team. So yes, there's all these different things out there.
Yeah.
So
but I still like, even when I have a die, there's times that I'm like, but I want to make it this big. So then that's when Cricut comes in handy, because I can make it any size I want.
Well, and there's lots of cool tools out there that I have learned in this world that you guys are in. There's tons of cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whoever has the most toys at the end wins.
Whoever uses the most toys. That's one of the reasons we created the circle, was to get people to use what they've bought.
Make sure somebody in your family knows what you actually paid for all of the things, because who hasn't come home from the craft store telling their husband that $50 for everything in this bag, really?
Well, that leads into, that's actually a great segue to Justine's, who was yesterday. So for the VIPs, you still have it. But she gave a presentation on how to use Airtable.
Yeah.
To keep an inventory. But her whole point of it was, whether you use Airtable or not, was for insurance purposes. So if you're not teching, you don't use Airtable, videotape your craft room.
Right. Or make an Excel spreadsheet or something, just so that,
but even just
otherwise somebody's going to come in and sell something that you spent $80 on for $5.
But even just for insurance purposes, videotape.
Yeah.
Because if anything was to happen to your craft room, if you've got a videotape, you can should videotape your whole house, by the way. There was a tip given to me many years ago: walk around your house and videotape it, because you don't remember what you have in those moments that you truly need to have it.
Exactly.
So, but videotaping your craft room is a really great way to do it. But she showed you how to use Airtable and do that as well.
You know how long it would take to videotape all of my stuff that I have? Like, I'm like a squirrel with, like, there's a stash over here, and yeah.
Sandy wants
like
all
every time I move my stash right there of scrapbook paper.
Sandy wants all her tools buried with her. My family just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
You don't want to share. There you go.
I was in a scrapbooking store once, and behind the cash register there was a sign on the wall, basically, for an extra $20, we'll give you a husband receipt.
Oh, yes, I've seen those. Yeah. The husband receipt of like, really, I only spent $20.
All good.
I used to come home and just tell him, honey, I saved $35. He's like, how much did you have to spend to save $30? That's not important. I saved money.
You have to adopt somebody who has. You have to find
if you need more helpful life hacks like that.
There you go. Suzette says, my family has no interest in my crafts. You need to adopt somebody, Suzette. Somebody who will be interested in your crafts. Not
my
adopt. Find someone.
And then now I have a neighbor, that girl that lives across the street, that she's into crafting. So I taught her how to crochet.
Yes, you have to put a stop to that. You have to get Debbie, you also have to adopt somebody. So, maybe we need to create that. Tracy,
a crafting adoption. Yeah. I'll be your cool aunt and help you make stuff.
Adopt your crafter, and you can give me all your supplies if something happens to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's great.
Instead of like rescue pets, we have rescue crafters.
There you go. There's a lot of ways you can go with it. See, we keep having these inspirations today.
Next time.
There you go. Shannon's willing to be adopted. We've started an adoption thing.
Oh, now as long as we don't have to put our face on a milk carton or something. Yeah,
like look in the garage and wood shop, and we'll compare credit card receipts. That is true, Julie.
Yeah, I always tell my clients that, Julie. I'm always like, us women may buy, a bag of stuff and it costs whatever. I'm like, your husband will go buy one car part or one tool, and how much will it cost?
Yeah. My husband and I have a deal. He doesn't get on me for like the scrapbooking crafting supplies, and I don't ask how much he spent on the last pair of running shoes.
Exactly.
Because like, to me, I'm like, you have tennis shoes. He's like, oh, but those are last year's.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So like, that seems like they should work.
There you go.
And then, there's me with like this much pink cardstock going, but I don't have the right shade. I have to go to the store. So those are our boundaries that we've set.
We have the same toys. His are just much larger scale. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sandy said her husband sold all her stickers for $40, 300 packs. Ooch. So every time husband breaks something on his quad snowmobile, then I feel I can go shopping. There you go.
So the husband that sold everything, in the divorce is if the judge is female, just put that out there and you're going to get everything.
There you go. Well, Shannon's up for adoption. If Suzette, if you want someone to be on your list of things. So we've started a whole new matchmaking thing here. Excellent.
Oh, we could have an app to match a crafter with a
younger crafter. You could mentor your crafter. You could do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jeez.
We started We Are Divorced. There you
We
go.
are divorced. I didn't want to say it just in case you were still happily married, but like he did that. Come on. Yeah, sorry.
We live over different species. Cool. Oh yeah, and your husband's a bike person, so yeah, they have more expensive things and not palm trees. We have 100 different species. There you go. So yeah, we all do these things.
We all have to have a thing because otherwise we would, be at the casino with that money or
something like that.
I mean, there are worse addictions to have. Mm-hmm. Come on, people.
Exactly.
There are worse addictions. Absolutely. And you're a great community of people. So there you go.
Yes, we are.
That's important. And I think it's not just one. Like I love this community that it can be diverse. Like I said, in our circle, we have Michelle who makes houses and she uses her Cricut to make houses. Right. She's not making, but it's paper. And that's really where it stems from. And it's one of the reasons Tracy, who goes out and gets all our speakers, does not get scrapbookers, right? It's getting people who play with paper who are interested in a little different, a little fun, not this little, what am I going to use? Quirky. I like quirky. Quirky and fun.
It's just fun to like, I started out with a piece of paper and turned it into this. It's like, it's kind of like being a magician. Abracadabra.
There you go.
There you go.
That's good. So thank you so much, Shawn, for being with us again.
Thank you for having me.
We love having you. We will be back in the fall.
Yes.
Sometime I'll know what dates. Tracy's the date person. We'll be back in the fall.
Yeah,
we are back today. We are back today at 7 p.m. for our wrap up. Just to go over where we're at. To thank everybody. We'll be back at 7. Jab was supposed to be on at 6, but she had something personal that came up, so she is not. So we are not doing one at 6. We will be back at 7. To do that, and we welcome all you guys to come back and chat with us a little bit more. Shawn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And Shawn,
and thank all of you for supporting what I do. And like I said earlier, drop your Cricut questions in the group or send me a message if you don't feel like posting it publicly. I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you. Thanks everyone, and we will see you in an hour.
Thank you.